In this video, I'm going to share with you how to grow one of the most popular herbs of all time, mint. Mint is one of the easiest herbs to grow. And if you have to grow it, first of all, you have to grow it in a container. That's why today we're going to grow ours in a container, because if you grow it in your garden directly, it's going to take over your garden. So one, I'm going to show you how to grow this mint in a container from seeds to harvest. I'm also going to show you how you can propagate the stems so that you can get as much mint as you want. And I'm also going to share with you my recipe, what I use my mint for. So make sure you watch this video to the end. Now let's get right into the process. So first of all, I have this container that I'm going to use. Make sure that your container has a hole at the bottom. This helps with drainage. And I'm going to use this seed starting mix because, listen, as the name implies, yes, seed starting mix. So I'm going to pour this seed starting mix into my container. You can use any container of your choice. And I'm going to, like you can see me do, level the surface. And the next step is for me to pour in my seeds. You can see the seeds are very tiny, so you have to be very careful so you don't, end up missing some seeds. So I'm pouring it into my container like this, like spray it around so that they won't be congested, like compacted in one spot. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So after pouring in my seeds, I'm just going to cover it lightly with this seed starting mix. Watering is very important because the seeds need the water to be able to grow. So this is not a one-time thing. You will keep on watering whenever you see that the soil is dry. So I'm going to set it aside and keep it under the sun. But during summer, you want to keep it where it's going to get some partial shade. So this is my mint after 21 days. You can see that the seeds are growing out. And also, this is my mint after 60 days. Mint is one of those herbs that takes a long time to grow, but by the time they start growing out, listen, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. Like, okay, yes, because they will keep on giving you more leaves. This is it. It's ready for harvest, and this is after 120 days. So usually it takes between 3 to 5 months for it to give you that harvest, the first harvest that you need. And from that first harvest, you will keep on harvesting tons and tons and tons of mint. As long as you do not uproot it, it will keep on giving you more mint. And also, I told you I was going to show you how to propagate the stems that we are going to harvest from this mint. That way, you will also have more mint, tons and tons and tons of mint. So, but the caveat is that you should not plant it in your garden directly, okay? Because if you do, it's going to take over your garden. But I'll show you how you can propagate the stems in another container. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video so that you have tons of mint, as much as you want, okay? So this is my harvest. It looks good. You can see how healthy it is. And I did not use any fertilizer. So I'm going to pour some water in here and just set it aside for more harvest, okay? But that will take a couple of weeks before I can harvest some more. So let's jump into the process of how to propagate the stem. So first of all, I'm going to harvest these leaves from the stems. You can see how I'm plucking it. I'm plucking the larger leaves and leaving the new leaves on the stem. You can see these new leaves right here. The ones at the bottom, I'm going to harvest them, but the ones at the top, like from the middle to the top, I'm not going to harvest those new leaves, so that by the time I plant them, they will grow out faster because of the new leaves that are shooting out on the stem. So I'm just going to repeat this same process for all the stems. So after harvesting the leaves, let's set it aside. And this is the stem. These are the stems. So let's go outside. This is what they look like. You can see the new leaves on the stem. I didn't harvest those ones. From the middle to the top, I did not harvest those new leaves shooting out. So now let's go outside and plant the stem so you see what I'm talking about. So in another container, I'm going to add some potting mix. Remember, the first one that we used was seed starting mix, but this time I'm using potting mix because the seed starting mix is very good for starting your seed. So after adding this potting mix into my container, I'm just leveling it too. And another tip is, if you're not ready to plant the stems immediately, make sure you put it in a water, in a cup like this. Put water so that the stems does not dry out, because they dry out very quickly. So if you're not ready to plant it immediately, put it in water like this. Put it on your kitchen counter where it's going to get some sunlight. So let's go ahead and plant this stem. So after planting my stems, I'm going to water it. This step is very important. Whenever your soil is dry, that's when you know you have to water it. I'll set it aside and keep it where it's going to get some partial shade, because this is summer. So during summer, you keep it in a partial shade. During winter, full sun. So this is it after another 60 days and they are ready to be harvested. That's how you propagate it with stems from the previous one that we planted from seeds. Okay, so let's get into the recipe. I'm using this pineapple for the tea. It's basically a tea. It's a tea that I'm going to make with it. So but I'm going to use the pineapple peel instead of the pineapple. Then I'm going to use some ginger, and I'm going to add my pineapple peel into the pot, add my washed mint leaves, and add the ginger, and add some water. Then I'm going to go ahead and stir it to mix everything, and then next thing is to bring it to a boil. And then I'm going to strain it out in a strainer, put it in a strain it out. Then I'm going to throw the chaff into my garden after cooling off. I'll throw it into the garden, then put this one in the refrigerator to cool off. Oh, after leaving it on the kitchen counter to cool off first, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator to cool off completely. Then pour the chilled tea into a glass container like this. I'm pouring it into a smaller glass so that I can enjoy this, and then put the remaining one in the refrigerator. Thank you guys for watching. This is good. Click that red subscribe button below if this video was helpful to you, and make sure you give me a thumbs up.